Alright, so this is take 2. Sorry if I'm a little bit drowsy. But basically, we're going to be talking about the broken ability that is currently in the game. Now, some of you guys might already know some parts to it, and some of you guys might know some deeper parts to it. But there's an even deeper portion that I haven't seen anybody talk about personally. I've seen like one person maybe bring it up, but they weren't sure how to do it. And help me out with this, try to figure this out, because a lot of people were having trouble figuring it out. A little bit of confusion behind it, so I figured I'd clear that up. And then there's even like a deeper part, so we're gonna get into it. There's a lot of layers to this ability that have not been tapped into, and some have been slightly touched up on. So number 1, all right, Selfless is the ability that I'm going to basically be circling this video around. Selfless is an ability that you turn it on automatically for the next week. Alright, you'll be able to turn it on for the next week. Sorry I'm also posting this a little late. I've been sick as a dog, so I haven't been able to do it, but now I'm feeling a little bit serviceable to do it. But anyways, besides the point. So that has been an ability that now I got rid of TJ Watt because he had dual threat all game unstoppable. I'll explain what I'm talking about in a minute. So Trey Hendrickson and TJ Watt have shot up in price. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this by now, where these abilities up top are all unstoppable. These 3. Right now, these other ones aren't unstoppable, but these ones are. So you can turn on Unstoppable Force, and it stays on all game. And you don't have to keep redoing it, right? And then there's another TJ Watt that gets dual threat, and you can do that with him. But what people don't realize is that there's more to it. So there's that. Right now, I'm going to probably try it with Javon Curse. I haven't really tapped into it a whole lot. I'm still working with new ways to do it because I didn't like the dual threat. I think Trey Hendrickson had like 10 sacks in like 5 games for me, maybe more. And that's including leaving and the fact that Super Bowl moves quicker. So we're going to figure that out. And TJ Watt had 0. So I didn't like the dual threat, personally. So another part of it is that if you don't want the edge threats or the unstoppable forces, you want to do other stuff, there's a way to keep bringing it back to life. I'll have a cut to that right now. Okay, so for defense, now this is very important. Before you even think about subbing him in, take this card out of any formation you are going to use at any point in the game. So for example, I do run 6-1 sometimes. Not often, but in like red zone scenarios or certain scenarios where I feel like I need to be running 6-1. I take it out immediately. That's the first thing I do. As well as the first one you should always do is field goal block. They will always be on field goal block. Again, thank you to Carson for letting me know. I'll have his link to his Twitter in the description. Very knowledgeable guy who doesn't do a whole lot of content. I don't think he does any content, but he's a very knowledgeable guy. And also Medic on Twitter as well. I'll link him in the description. He kind of guided me a little bit to this area. He was trying to figure it out, but he wasn't too sure how to 100% do it. Because it was a little confusing at first. I mean, keep in mind, this is like the first day it came out. We're spitballing on Twitter. So go drop him a follow as well. He's got great info. You want to make sure you take him out of special teams, take him out of goal line, take him all of the stuff that you're going to use maybe, and then keep him in a formation you're not going to use. Like, for example, I don't really use 3-4 odd or 3-4 bear. Really ever. Like, I like the formations. I don't really run them. So I use this. I just keep them in there, and then you call an offensive play, right? And basically, before they snap the ball, you have 3 ways technically to go about it. You have 1, you can wait until like a 2-minute warning hits because you think that's going to hit, or a quarter change or a half changes. You can wait for that to save your timeouts or yards. Or if you want to save your timeouts and you want to just you're okay with giving them 5 yards, you just go off sides. The penalty's going to happen, and the X factor will stay on because technically they didn't run a play. But the ability goes away the second they call the snap, right? The second he is part of a play is the second that he loses this X factor. So you can't be a part of an actual play. That's pretty much it for that. Again, before you do any of this, make sure you take them out of your field. All right, and the next thing is you can also now bring that linebacker with selfless on offense. Now, you can also do that with DT, Mean Joe Green, and if we ever get any tomorrow, because there's going to be Super Bowl card shopping tomorrow. I'm doing this on the 5th. This is the second take. I'll check on it tomorrow, and I'll leave it in the comments on an update. You can get it on offense, and I will clip on to how to do that now. Okay, so to have selfless on offense, you're basically going to need one thing, two things, and two things only. Pretty simple. And that is, one, you're going to want your selfless at middle linebacker 1. You want him at middle linebacker 1 for a very specific reason, because that is going to be the guy who automatically subs in. You can't do personal changes. You can't sub him in manually. There has to be middle linebacker 1. And what you're going to be doing right now is you're going to do right stick on goal line until you see MLB formation. Now you might not see it in game, but if you go to MLB, it will have 94, which is who I have as I don't know why I can't remember his name. Sorry, I'm still sick. So yeah, that's going to be who's starting for you. You're going to come in and you are going to just pick a play, right? We're going to pick a play. Blah, 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 blah. Now you're going to see him, DeMarcus Ware, on your offense, and then it'll turn on your QB, your running back, and then probably you want a tight end, right? I didn't activate Kelsey, but you can have 4 on offense technically. So yeah, that's pretty much as simple as that. And then basically there's a few ways to do it. There's like, I've really thought about this because I've done it a lot. I've used it a lot of games to test it out. And you can do 3 things on how to go about ending the play without taking away the X factor. The second he starts in your field, you are basically done. You can't. It's the second you call a play and he's on the field for that one play, he loses the X factor. So you have 3 ways to go about it. You have 1, call a timeout. 2, take the 5-yard penalty, delay a game. Or 3, you only do it, like, for example, so I really only do it for this one scenario, this last scenario, because I don't need offensive abilities that bad. Is, let's say it's a 2-minute warning, or you're very close to 2-minute warning and clock is running, or very close to the end of half, or the end of quarter and clock is running, or end of half, right? You can say, let's say there's like 15 seconds left and the clock is running. If you can quickly go to this formation, do their subs, go on the field, right? You get on the field, clock runs out, you don't take any delay of game, you don't use the timeout, and you still turn on the abilities. That's the best way I go about it on offense, and defense if I need to. It's a little bit easier on defense because you're not under a time thing as much, so time constraint. So yeah, that's about that. Also, so I wanted to mention one more thing. I'm coming back to this. I kind of forgot about this. Another thing I was told is that, now I haven't even tested this myself. I'm going to be testing this right now. Again, shout out to Carson, TZM Cash. If you want to sub in Mean Joe Green, like you have Mean Joe Green because you want to use DeMarcus Ware, if you want to have 3 unstoppable forces on the field at one time, or 2 unstoppable forces and 1 dual threat, up to debate on the Super Bowl Part 2 drop tomorrow. Could be 3, but you're basically going to go into Miami instead, is what I was told. So we're going to go in here and we're going to see if we have a DT sub in. We have Gronk. Can't see my old lineman. Okay, so Vita Vea. This is my defensive tackle. Vita Vea is my defensive tackle 1. Because I run Bucks team right now. Definitely changing to Chiefs tomorrow. Yes, that works. So yes, that's how you do that for offense. DT. So with all that being said, obviously you can't add receivers to this, so I tried to see if I could find a way to get Worthy to activate. To bring him on the field. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get any of these guys. The only people you can possibly really get with it is fullback, halfback, tight end, and quarterback to my knowledge. Obviously O-line doesn't have any X factors, so that's what I was able to get out of it. But there's an even deeper, not 100% solidified thing that we haven't thought about yet, that I haven't heard anybody talk about, which I'll be going into right now. So to get that X factor to work, the selfless ability to work on offense, obviously you need some sort of linebacker, whether it's middle linebacker, outside linebacker, whatever. You need it to be either a linebacker or a DT. And this card fits in those categories. This card starts on with an X Factor. So it says unstoppable X Factors that start on, but that's the only benefit. No team, ability tier, or secondary buckets, and it'll turn into a Super Bowl champion on the 11th. Now, with that, I've got to imagine, with the fact that it's nothing else, that it sounds like it's going to be every ability. But what makes me not believe that a little bit is because I can't imagine they'd have Selfless on all game. So that's kind of a curveball. So if that's not the case, obviously this card will be still really good, Unstoppable Force all game. But if it is possible to get Selfless, even just if it's one play, this card will be card will be worth way more than the 350,000 coin price tag. I promise you, this card will be about at least a mil, bare minimum, if people figure this out. Now, do I think it's gonna happen that he's gonna get Selfless? No. But do I think it's a possibility? Absolutely. I think it's a possibility. I would say the odds are about 40%, 30% that he gets Selfless somehow starting on. Now, do I think it'll be all game? No. I mean, they've never done that. But EA throws curveballs all the time. So, I like the little mysterious part about all this. But, yeah, it's kind of up in the air right now. So, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when it comes. But if I'm you guys, I think no matter what, this card is worth 400K. I think if you guys see this card on Super Bowl drop and you could see this card for 300, 350K, even 400, I would buy it 1,000,000,000%. 1,000,000,000%. This card's going to be elite. I mean, this card, you don't need anything on him. As long as he has Unstoppable Force, Unstoppable, or even just like double or nothing Unstoppable, or like for free, or like, I don't know. It could have, there's a lot of X Factors that I could have. Even like Fearmonger, I wouldn't mind, or Dual Threat all game. That's pretty cool. Especially when the fact that we're not going to be using a lot of X Factors after, because all the start-ons will be gone by the 13th. So, just food for thought. I figured I'd throw that out there. I'm not seeing anybody mention that. That's the deepest it really gets. But, yeah. So, I'm going to have TZM Cash, aka Carson. We're going to be doing a example on how to now counter this. Now, initially I waited like a few days to actually post this video, because originally I was going to make it a Discord exclusive, so it was just going to be a Discord thing, because I was kind of scared to bring this to light a little bit, but a little more's come out, and also we have now found a way to counter this. So if, you know, people start running it more, you know how to get rid of this, and stop it in the tracks of it. So, yeah, we will be playing that now. It basically has something to do with your momentum shift. You can get a momentum shift on your defensive tackle if you have a defensive tackle, Mean Joe Green, or DeMarcus Ware, or someone else, I forget, but you'll see him using it in the video. You can stop it with a momentum shift. Again, you got momentum shifts. Temporarily starts on. So yeah, you got that. Cue to the video. So now we got this part right here. If you guys are ever in this position, you just want to go off sides now that you got D-Ware or whoever, right, as the guy turning them on. So now the Unstoppable Forces and Dual Threat should be on now for the rest of the time, and you should also still have Selfless. But what we're going to test right now is they're called Unstoppable, right? But I want to know if they are truly unstoppable. This is the first time I'm seeing it too. So we're just going to go into our formation. He should have momentum shift.
I don't know if you can.
Oh my god, it worked.
Maybe you can.
It turned them off. They're not unstoppable. Oh, alright, cool. I feel a lot better releasing this video, because I did not want to release something that didn't have a counter. That is huge. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright.
Another shot at it.
We're in business. We're in business. Alright, and that's the whole video, man. I appreciate you guys if you guys stayed this long, and I hope, you know, you guys, I've already played a lot of some demon stuff, so I think at this point I know I'm ready to see this. You know, it is what it is, right? Get all your Avalanches, get all your Unstoppable Forces out there, get all your Omahas out. It's only for a week, unless that Super Bowl trophy card has starting on Selfless. That's a little scary. Hopefully EA knows their game enough to know not to do that. But yeah, we will be looking back onto this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys. Drop a follow, drop a like. Follow the two guys I mentioned in the description for helping me out. And yeah, that's about it. Peace. And I also stream every day on Twitch, so make sure to go check out the Twitch. We stream pretty much every day. I have not been live for a few days because I've been sick, so if you guys were wondering. But yes, I am sick right now, so when we're back, we'll be back better than ever, baby. Come on, man.